What's up, everybody? Today we are talking about the brand new Klaris Mini cocktail ice machine. I don't know, cocktail ice machine? Is that what they call it? The Mini Klaris rock ice machine. There are a bunch of machines out there that make pebble ice. There's even a machine out there that we recently reviewed that makes spherical ice, but there is nothing that really makes rock ice that well other than the Klaris. And I don't know if you guys have been watching this channel for a while, but a while back, it was like years ago now, we were sent the original Klaris, which is a bigger machine that makes actually I have it right here. It's a bigger machine. It makes 4 cubes, takes up a bigger footprint in your kitchen. And I loved it. I love this machine. This machine was their first iteration. There's been a lot of improvements actually, not just the size changing, but also the speed at which it makes ice. This is a little bit faster than the original machine. Obviously, it takes up a smaller footprint than your kitchen, so this is a little bit more inconspicuous. And although both Klarises are pretty quiet, this thing runs so quietly. I can actually run it on set while I'm filming, and we don't pick it up on the microphones unless I'm right next to it, which is a big improvement just because we all know that most ice machines make a lot of noise when they're going. The other thing about this machine that makes it a little bit different is that it has a little teensy tiny digital display. It's nice to have a digital display to confirm that you selected the mode that you wanted to select, and you just feel nice and warm and fuzzy that you put it on a 24-hour hold or whatever. This machine also does have hold modes, but they got rid of the little digital display because honestly, even though it does make you feel warm and fuzzy sometimes, you don't actually really need it. And it does everything that it's supposed to do very, very well. So the company Klaris was created by a guy named Chase Hayter back in 2020. Chase Hayter was an engineer that worked for a bunch of different companies. And basically what his job was, what he specialized in, was to find commercial machines and redesign them for home applications. So he was basically singularly positioned to be able to make a machine like Klaris. The first Klaris ice machine came out at like $600. It's now $549. So basically what he did is he took a clinebell ice machine. It's a massive ice machine that consists of a tub of water that constantly circulates the water so none of the cloudy bits or bubbles can form inside the ice. And it makes these big 300-pound blocks. And he thought that he could make one for home application, and that's what he did. So the technology behind the Klaris is pretty much exactly that. If you look under the lid of the Klaris, you have a propeller here, and that circulates the water as it freezes to make sure that no cloudiness or bubbles can form. So the Klaris, both the Klaris and the Mini Klaris, are directional ice machines. But unlike the cooler method, which you put water into a cooler and freeze from the top down slowly, the Klaris freezes from the bottom up slowly. So same technology, different method. But unlike directional freezing in a cooler, the Klaris here works a little bit faster, and you can have 2 pieces of clear ice every 8 hours. And because it doesn't take up a lot of counter space and it's quiet, you can continually run it, which will keep you in clear ice for at least your home needs. You'll never have to worry about having clear ice again. There are a couple of things that you should note about all Klaris machines, including this little Mini, and that is that the ambient temperature of the room can affect times. First of all, it should never operate in any weather that's 80 degrees or over. So you don't want to put it in a garage in the summertime or something that doesn't have AC. You definitely want to keep it inside your house. But then also higher temperatures, like if it's in the higher 70s, it's going to take a little bit longer to produce the ice than if it's in the lower 70s or high 60s or something. So just keep in mind that the hotter the weather, the hotter the ambient temperature around the machine, the longer it will take to make your ice. It is incredibly easy to use. It's ready to go right out of the box. You have this nice little light display that will tell you everything you need about what's going on with the machine. You just open this up, and I thought that the silicone tray was in there, but it's not. It has a silicone tray with 2 ice receptacles in there that has a partition in it. And then you also have this little piece of plastic. What you want to do is set the plastic down in here and press it all the way down. You want to make sure that there is no air bubbles in here. So you want to make sure that you press it down with a blunt instrument like your finger. You definitely don't want to push down on it with anything that could puncture it. And then it's very simple. Then what we're going to do is we're just going to take this over to our water that we have over here. All right, so now we've filled it up with water here. We're just gonna place it into the machine like so. Close the lid. press the power button, and you will see that it turns blue. The other thing that's really cool about here is that this is also kind of a taskbar. So it is only blue on a little portion of it. And as the ice freezes, it will become more and more and more blue until it is finally done. And then when it is done, it is green and it is ready to open up and harvest your ice. Well, the light has turned green, and you know what that means? That means that our ice is done so we can harvest it. Now, this is what I like about this thing, which is really cool, that when you pull it out, it's actually still water in the top here, see? It still has a little bit of water, but if you tap underneath, it's actually solid ice. Just gotta pour this out like so, get rid of the excess water, and then we have our pieces of ice. There's this little plastic piece in here, right here, that you have to pull it off of, but then you have your fully clear ice. And what's really cool about this machine, and what I really like about it, is that the ice comes out fully tempered, so it's ready to just go in a drink, or you can shake a cocktail with it. What's nice about that is that you don't have to worry about cracking your ice. That being said, if you're making this ice every single day and you're like just periodically harvesting it as it's done, you will have to put it in the freezer. But what's nice about that is they have these little containers here. Klaris has been making these for a while, but the improvement on these is that they put a little bracket on here. So now they're stackable. So now you can like stack them on top of each other and they stay stacked. They won't slide off or whatever when you put them inside the freezer. And you can put your ice in here like so. Now, not only does this protect your ice from any food that's inside your freezer that could impart smells into your ice, but also it keeps the ice separate so that it doesn't stick together. Because of course, if you put a wet piece of ice inside the freezer, it's going to stick as it freezes. It's gonna stick to whatever it's at. So this will prevent that completely and it doesn't stick. And then I'll show you, here, move this now. I got some ice here that I made yesterday. And there you have your 4 blocks, fully clear ice. And even though it's frosted, you can still see that it's clear, pretty much. I gotta say, this new mini Klaris ice machine is like my favorite thing. It's super easy. Just put a little water in there and let it go. The only thing that I would recommend is that when you make ice with it, you wanna make the ice with bottled water, filtered water. You can use distilled water if you want to, I guess. If you use hard water, it's going to create mineralization inside the machine. And so to extend the life of it, it's much better to just use already filtered water, which is really nice. You know, it's a little tweak in the design that will help you with your space saving inside your freezer in case you don't have a ton of freezer space like I do. All right, I think that's it for the Klaris. You can find it on our website. So you guys should just go out and get your Klaris. It's $299, which is a vast improvement off the original machine. For, you know, something that makes a couple of pieces of ice pretty fast, that's as good as it's gonna get for you.